Hi guys! Why is so many Windows OSs? Well, let's go back to November 20th, 1985.
2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012, 2011, 2010, 2009, 2008, 2007, 2006, 2005, 2004, 2003, 2002, 2001, 2000, 1999, 1998, 1997, 1996, 1995, 1994, 1993, 1992, 1991, 1990, 1989, 1988, 1987, 1986, December 1985, November 30th, 1985, November 29th, 1985, November 28th, 1985, November 27th, 1985, November 26th, 1985, November 25th, 1985, November 24th, 1985, November 23rd, 1985, November 22nd, 1985, November 21st, 1985, November 20th, 1985.
Okay. There are 14 OSs that are released in the years. In the 20th of November, 1985, Windows 1 was released as the first installment of Windows. It's a graphic personal computer operating environment developed by Microsoft. 719 days later, in the 9th of December, 1987, Windows 2.0 has released. Unlike Windows 1, Windows 2.0 could display till 894 days later, in the 22nd of May, 1990, Windows 3.0 has released. It became the first widely successful version of Windows. 1162 days later, in the 27th of July, 1993, Windows 3.1 has released. It constitutes the first operating system of the Windows NT family. 758 days later, in the 24th of August, 1995, Windows 95 has released. It was a significant progression from the company's previous Windows products. 365 days later, in the 24th of August, 1996, Windows NT 4.0 has released. It was a multitasked, graphical operating system as a part of Windows NT line of operating systems. 694 days later, in the 25th of June, 1998, Windows 98 has released. It was a second major release in the Windows 9X line of operating systems and the successor of Windows 95. 602 days later, in the 17th of February, 2000, Windows 2000 has released. It's the successor to Windows 4.0. and the last version of NT, but it's also Windows NT 5.0. 199 days later, in the 4th of September, 2000, Windows Millennium Edition has released. It is the last operating system released in the Windows 9X series. 416 days later, in the 25th of October, 2001, Windows XP has released. It was a part of the Windows NT family of operating systems. It is also known as Windows NT 5.1. 1923 days later, in the 30th of January, 2007, Windows Vista has released. It is originally codenamed Longhorn, which could cause confusion. 995 days later, in the 22nd of October, 2009, Windows 7 has released. It wasn't part of the NT family, codenamed Vienna, formerly Blackcomb. It is also called Windows NT 6.1. 1100 days later, in the 26th of October, 2012, Windows 8 has released. It is another part of the Windows NT family. It is also called as Windows NT 6.2. 356 days later, in the 17th of October, 2013, Windows 8.1 has released. It was an upgrade of Windows 8, codenamed Blue, another part of NT's, known as Windows NT 6.3. And 650 days later, in the 29th of July, 2015, Windows 10 has released. It is another part of the NT's that it was also known as Windows NT 10.0, but Microsoft confirmed that there will be no Windows 11, so the order of the operating systems goes: Windows 1.0, released in November 20th, 1985. Windows 2.0, released in December 9, 1987, Windows 3.0, released in May 22, 1990, Windows NT 3.1, released in July 27, 1993, Windows 95, released in August 24, 1995, Windows NT 4.0, released in August 24, 1996, Windows 98, released in June 25, 1998, Windows 2000, released in February 17, 2000, Windows Millennium Edition, released in September 14, 2000, Windows XP, released in October 25, 2001, Windows Vista, released in January 30, 2007, Windows 7, released in October 22, 2009, Windows 8, released in October 26, 2012, Windows 8.1, released in October 17, 2013, and Windows 10, released in July 29, 2015. But all of the operating systems goes into a timeline. Compared to Windows 1.0 to Windows 10, there are 936,835,200 seconds, or 15,613,920 minutes, or 260,232 hours, or 10,843 days, or 1,549 weeks, or 356.482192 months, or 29.7068493 years, or 2.970689493 decades, or 0.297068449 centuries, or 0.029706885 millenniums, or 936,840,000,000 milliseconds, or 936,840,000,000,000 microseconds, or 936,840,000,000,000 nanoseconds, or 936,840,000,000,000 picoseconds, or 936,840,000,000,000 femtoseconds, or 936,840,000,000 attoseconds, or 936,840,000,000 zeptoseconds, or 936,840,000,000 yoctoseconds, or 7.25 olympiads, or 5.8 lustrums, or 1.93333333333 indictions. Now let's go back to 2017. And that was the history of Microsoft's Windows.